But this is our last storyteller before the intermission. We'll have a quick break. If you guys want to fill out some more of these slips, they're around, floating around here, and then just give it to the merch table or one of our lovely volunteers, and then we'll get those read on stage. But here's our last storyteller of the first half, and I've seen this young man at Martyrs. He's won twice, and honestly, I'm always thinking about, I want to be a studio exec and make movies, and if I could make a buddy movie and have someone be my ultimate wingman, I think it'll be this dude, man. Seriously, when he gets up here, you'll see. Just imagine me and this guy solving crimes, Italian Job 2, whatever you want to do, just throw me and this dude in it. Start giving me some awesome Park West Chicago love for the very dashing, the most interesting man in the world, Mr. Moran Surf, everybody. Give it up for Moran. Where you at? Here he is. Now you see what I'm talking about.
Up until the age of 20, the biggest crime I committed was stealing Disney cards for my collection album. I was this kind of kid who would say, should we do that? Maybe we should have an adult with us. Is it okay? This is the kind of kid I was. And this is surprising because at age 30, I was involved in a massive fraud case, a ploy to scam the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And like all good stories, it starts with a girl. Only that in this one, the girl was my girlfriend who was just about to break up with me at the moment. She was actually telling me we need to be friends, which I didn't know, but meant we shouldn't be friends. And I was not American. She knew that I wasn't, so she explained to me that this actually means a breakup. And she said to me that part of it is because I'm immature and I don't make the right choices, and also my friends are idiots. And basically, she wanted me to be a little older and kind of know how to live life better. And just when she reflects on that, I get a phone call. And on the caller ID, it says, throw up. And this was a nickname he gave to my friend at age 6, when one time he tried to tell a joke, and he was the only one laughing from the joke, but he was laughing so hard that he threw up. So the name threw up. So I have throw up on my phone, and I make a judgment call, and I ignore the call, and I put the phone off, demonstrating that I'm actually able to stay with her. Only that my friend throw up does some very, very sophisticated move. He calls her phone. So a minute later, she picks up the phone and she says, it's for you. And I take the phone and I say, this better be an emergency. When I hear my friend throw up telling me, this is an emergency. I say, what is it? He says, you've got to run home right now, because in 20 minutes, you're going to be on the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I'll explain later. And I tell my girlfriend, look, I don't know what to say. This is pretty unusual, but we've got to go home. I'm going to be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in 20 minutes. I'll explain later. My friend Thorpe, who was a friend of mine since we were 6, he was this math wizard, and he helped me in math when I was a kid. So I owed him, and I had to do something, even though we were now 30, and it's been 24 years. I get home, I pick up the phone, and he explains to me. The thing was, at the time, they had a radio version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. The price was actually $10,000, still called the same name. It's kind of like a Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me in Israel, only the Israeli version of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. So people go online and they kind of play a trivia game, but instead of Carl Castle reading your voicemail, you get two people, gladiator, one-to-one on trivia. So the point was that every week they had this show and someone won this show. And to get on the show, you had to answer a lot of questions online. And two people would go to the radio show and they would repeat it against each other, and the winner would get $10,000. So my friend, Thorpe, won the prize the week before, so he was good. But he wanted another one. So for the week after, he played under my name with my phone number, and he won. So he calls me and he says, you've got to be home. They're going to call me in a few minutes. I'm going to be with you on the mobile phone on one ear. They're going to be on the other ear. All you have to do is just echo what I tell you on one side, and that's it. You're going to win it. Don't worry about it. So before I know what's going on, the senior producer of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on the phone and says, are you ready, Moran? Yes, yes. Are you okay? Yes, yes. And then, before we know, it's me against Nathan, this other guy, and they ask the first question. The first question is, which country won the World Cup in 1998? I don't know anything about soccer, but I hear France. France. Right, correct. Moran 1, Nathan 0. And then next question comes, and it's something about geography. They ask, what's the biggest country in Africa? And before I get to hear my friend Thorpe telling me, the other guy, Nathan, says Algeria. So it's now 1-1. And then the third question comes, and it's about music. And they say, which album sold the most? And I know this one before I even get to hear it, and say, Michael Jackson Thriller. And it's now 2-1, and I get excited about it. And my girlfriend looks at me and she said, what are you doing? So now it's 2-1, and one more question, we're gonna win this thing. And the next question comes, and it's something about nightlife, and I don't know nothing about nightlife because I have a girlfriend for 2 years, so we never go out. So I know nothing, and we lose this one. So now it's 2-2, and the host says, okay, that's it. The last question. Whoever gets this one wins the game. So you better be on your best. And the question is about math. The thing that Throw-Up and myself were studying together years ago. So I get kind of like very, very focused, and they start asking, and something about topology. And they say, what do you call a one-dimension, and before the question ends, I know this answer, Mobius strip. So I scream, Mobius strip! And the host says, I'm sorry, Moran, you didn't let me finish the question. What do you call a one-dimensional knot? So because you were incorrect, we now give Nathan all the time he wants to answer the question. And I'm sure that the guy on the other side just looked online because he spent about a minute before he said whatever the answer was, toilet or not. And the host says, thank you very much to the two of you. Nathan, you win the award this week. And the phone is off. And my friend's phone is off. And now I'm sitting there looking at my girlfriend who no longer dates a guy who doesn't make good judges, but also a loser. And I see her walk into the other room. And now I have a call to make. Do I chase her? Or do I call my friend Throw-Up and at least explain and apologize for just losing him $10,000? And I pick up the phone and I call him. And I say, look, I'm really, really sorry. I don't know what got into me. I thought I would know it. You know, math, it's my thing right now. You taught me that. I thought I'm not old enough. I can actually know this by now. We started like 6 years together. And I'm sorry. And he says, oh, what are you sorry about? I say, we know about this thing. He says, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. We won. I said, what do you mean we won? He said, oh, Nathan was also me. I was playing both of you on the other side. Don't worry about this thing. And I say, wow, this is a massive plot that you just had here. And I look at my friend of 24 years, and I look at my ex-girlfriend, and I say, maybe someone who doesn't really appreciate your friends shouldn't be with you. And maybe someone who thinks that you're too foolish and juvenile to do those things is just not good enough to be with you, because being foolish and juvenile is just good enough and old enough to be better. Thank you.
Get up for Moran, everybody. Man, I'm telling you, it's this guy, man. I'm telling you, next 2016, Ponytail and Skinny Jeans is going to be the new, you can't stop me in this guy. One more time for Moran, the most interesting man in the world.